Okay, let's get into audience questions for the first time in 2019. 2019, we're already seeing a lot of changes from 2018 politically. Democrats have been sworn in and taking control of the House. Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House. We already are seeing investigations ramp up. We are seeing bills get passed to reopen the government, despite the fact that Republicans and Trump are not going to even consider doing that on the basis of a democratically passed bill. So a lot of the questions today sort of relate to the next steps in the current regime. The first question is, hey, David, will anybody in the Trump family flip and start cooperating with Robert Mueller's investigation? I think the answer is basically no, with the exception that, so I'm trying to, I don't know offhand the full family tree of the Trump child spouses and that sort of thing. I know that Don Jr. now is dating that current or former Fox News anchor Kimberly Guilfoyle. So he has there's his ex-wife who's floating around out there as a what I would imagine a possible more likely person to flip and start cooperating with Mueller. That's a possibility if there was pressure applied to her to try to figure out what Don Jr. was up to, although the law around sort of spousal incrimination may make it so that she doesn't really feel the pressure. That's a possibility. I don't really see it as particularly likely because there is this, with Trump, there's this unending loyalty until you say anything even mildly critical of him, and then all of a sudden you're like the worst person. Michael Cohen's a good example of this. Manafort has been thrown under the bus. The entire thing. We sort of know how it works. And it does seem like within family, at least so far, we haven't seen that breakdown where Trump flips on a family member. But what I think is new in 2019 is that we've not seen Donald Trump operate as president yet when he doesn't control every element of government. He has now lost the House, and a Trump president without control of the House, with the at this point, who even knows what the full number of investigations is going to be that we see Democrats in the House undertake to try to figure out what exactly went down with Donald Trump. That could change things, and just because we've not seen the flipping on family before, we could see that. One other thing, Trump is clearly capable of throwing his family under the bus. We found out that in the aftermath of the breaking news of the Trump Tower meeting, which Donald Trump Jr. was a big player in, Trump got involved himself in drafting that bogus statement that was published, which was riddled with lies, we now know retrospectively, about the Trump Tower meeting. And there are numerous reports that he was just absolutely furious with Don Jr. And that actually correlates with just bigger picture history of the Trump family stuff, that Trump and Don Jr. have not always gotten along. So I think that if you are going to see an immediate family member, not like an ex-family member or someone by marriage, if you're going to see an immediate family member flip, and we start to see a divergence in the public paths of whether they're on the same page or not, it would be Trump Sr., Donald Trump, and Don Jr. I think that's the most likely. Beyond that, I mean, I want to sort of mention Jared Kushner because he is the golden boy for Donald Trump, but it's not, what you would call a blood relative. And if there were to be someone else, if it really got ugly, where you would see them take sort of opposing positions in this entire thing, maybe it would be Jared Kushner. Send me your thoughts. Am I way off here? Is there someone? I mean, people might say Tiffany. She clearly hates Trump already. She may just be out of the public spotlight, and I don't know that she would even really know anything such that she would be a target to flip. So I would say Don Jr., Don Jr.'s ex-wife, Don Jr., Jared Kushner, sort of in that order.